Patrick, and I'm an alcoholic. So, try going to a meeting tonight. Don't have any on Thursday. Thought I was running late too, showed up early and everything. But that's okay. So I don't really know what I'm going to talk about tonight. Well, actually I do. Because my girlfriend's taking a nap, and I want to start doing this thing where I read from the big book to make sure I'm reading through it. Because I just don't like reading. And I'm pretty shit at it. But there was a lot of good stuff that I read tonight. And I'm reading Bill's story. And it's kind of wild. Because it's just crazy how much it relates. And it'll relate to a lot of people too, if you let it. I do have my second video uploading right now. These little like background on me. And I know it's more than 15 minutes, but whatever. Anyway, one of the things underlying when I was reading in the books, I get it popped up on my computer too. My other computer, my piece of shit one. Is no words excuse me. No words can tell of the loneliness and despair I found in that bitter morass of self-pity. Quicksand stretched around me in all directions. I had met my match. I had been overwhelmed. Alcohol was my master. And it's kind of fucked up how true that is. Because it does feel like that. It's like a quicksand. It's like you're sinking down and down and you can't stop it. Sorry if I go plump. But that's like pretty much what addiction is. Most of the time. And one of the things that I don't know, his wife went through a lot. It's kind of wild. And it makes me think how much I put her through. And it kind of sucks, to think about that. But he also went on to say that his friend had come and visited him. And I guess he was an alcoholic too. But and it's crazy how much it relates, because a lot of people tell me how much my demeanor and I glow and my eyes have changed and stuff too, because it's a darkness. And your eyes can't lie. A lot of people have always told me my eyes have been very deep, and one of the first things I look at people is their eyes, because your eyes will tell your entire story before you've even said a word. And I believe that wholeheartedly. That a lot had changed him, and he was telling Bill that he had found religion, and I'm not for sure if it was like religion in AA, because this was like how they were forming it, I guess, or religion in something else, but it doesn't really matter. He found his higher power. Is the point of that. And that's what he was telling Bill here, it looks like. And then, Bill still shut it out. But it says right here, he had that starry look. Yes, the old boy was on fire, all right, but bless his heart, let him rant. Besides, my gin would last longer than his preaching. So it's pretty much like everybody else telling me in life, who, like my father and other people who went through the program telling me their stuff when I wouldn't want to hear it. And, pretty much that's what Bill did, but it did say that was 2 months ago, and that was 2 months ago that his friend started doing that, and the results were self-evident that it had worked. And then where did I end up? Oh, it's crash. And it was right here. With ministers and the world's religions, I parted right there when they talked of God, of a God personal to me, who was love, superhuman strength, and direction. I became irritated and my mind snapped shut against such a theory. Same thing here. It was when they talked, I parted right there, like the world's religion. It was just pretty much, he didn't want to believe in a higher power. He was never an atheist, I don't think. He did quote something where I don't know where it's at in here. And don't quote me on this because I'm shit at remembering. But even an atheist, how could you not believe hold on, I'm going to find this because I think it's very important. I'd always believed in a power greater than myself. I had often pondered these things. I was not an atheist. Few people really are, for that means blind faith in the strange proposition that this universe originated in a cipher and aimlessly rushes nowhere. So I think it's, to me at least, saying that how could you believe all this happened? It just did. And for the longest time, that was one of the things I battled with because, science shows the Big Bang and all that. Well, I don't know if it's proved the Big Bang, but evolution, stuff like that. And that goes back to what I said, I think in my first video, was saying that how do we not know that a higher power or God or whatever set all that in motion? For the longest time, people believe that it's either one or the other. Why can't it be both? And I think that's what they're saying here. But I had stopped up at the top of page 11, and mine's the 3rd edition, so my page numbers are going to be different from other people's, because there's I think they're on their 12th edition now. I'm not for sure how many editions they are. But I figured I'd read the next verse with you guys. To Christ I had conceded that certainly of a great man, not too closely followed by those who claimed him, his moral teachings most excellent. For myself I had adopted those parts which seemed convenient and not too difficult. The rest I disregarded. So he took what he wanted from the Bible and believed what he wanted to believe and didn't really care about the rest, which was what I do. I don't follow a Christian God. I just follow a good, loving God that's up there and watches over us. And, that's what he did. The wars which had been fought, the burnings and sinistry that religious dispute had facilitated made me sick. I honestly doubted whether, on balance, the religious of mankind had done any good. Judging from what I had seen in Europe and since, the power of God in human affairs was negligible. The brotherhood of man a grim jest. If there was a devil, he seemed the boss universal, and he certainly had me. He's saying, like I've said before, why does God have all this stuff in the world if, why? And that goes back to trying not to understand him, because we'll never comprehend why he does what he does. He just does. It is what it is, and you gotta accept it. And if you don't, you'll lead back to the drink or your drug of choice or whatever. Because if you sit here and try to dispute or figure him out, it's just we're never meant to do that. Whether you believe in Christian, the fucking Quran, Jewish, it doesn't matter. We were never meant to understand him. And I feel like the biggest problem in the world today for anybody, and this applies to people that ain't in AA, is they're trying to understand him. We don't. We just have to follow what we believe is right. Now, the Christians do that by following certain things in the Bibles and stuff, and there's a lot of that stuff in that Bible I don't believe, because it doesn't seem right. To me, at least. Could to you. Doesn't matter. But, I figured some of the times I could start these by reading daily reflections each day, which it is now the 13th, because each time I record these at like fucking midnight, 1 in the morning. So today's daily reflections are December 13th. Thinking of others. Our very lives as ex-problem drinkers depend upon our constant thought of others and how we may help meet their needs. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 20. Thinking of others has never come easily to me, even when I try to work the AA program. I'm prone to thinking, how do I feel today? Am I happy, joyous, or free? The program tells me that my dad used to say that stuff all the time. It's a trip. It all comes first full circle, guys. The program tells me that my thoughts must reach out to those around me. Would that newcomer welcome someone to talk to? That person looks a little unhappy today. Maybe I could cheer him up. It is only when I forget my problems and reach out to contribute something to others that I can begin to attain the serenity and God consciousness I seek. So, what I get from that is while we're working this program to make ourselves better and to learn more about ourselves, you do a lot better when you make a conscious effort to help other people. And it's not to do an ends to the mean, because before you could rationalize all you want, or at least for me, I could rationalize all I want that I was a good person because I was only putting 20% effort in. That's what my sponsor said too. I love hearing when he tells his story because it's a very, very excellent way. It's just, it just went really well. It just clicks for me when he talks. Like I'd throw a little extra in a guy's bag, or I'd help somebody out do this and then be like, I deserve this drink, I can drink, or whatever like that. But it was always to get another drink. It wasn't for just doing the right thing or being good. And when you do it opposed to just chasing after that drink or drug or whatever you want, it feels a lot better. I feel a lot better. Like, there's people at work that I just don't like, but I feel good when I help them. I mean, a little cynical part of me does it because it probably frustrates the hell out of them, but you know, the old saying, kill them with kindness, very true. It's also the best way to handle any unruly customer. Is you get what you put out in the world. So if you're only giving 20% of an effort to be good, to get something else, that's what you're going to get. But if you're doing it because that's what you want to do, because you want to be helpful, like doing service work, showing up to a meeting early, greeting people, saying, helping set up, helping clean up afterwards, you feel a lot better as a person inside. It's just crazy how the world works. And it's crazy how this program comes full circle. And I'll say that kind of stuff a lot. I'm going to say a lot in this one. I can already fucking tell. I'm going to try to like pre-record, mass record these as much as I can. But at the same time, just do them when I feel like it. And like tonight I knew I needed to record one because I didn't go to a meeting. So this right here is my meeting for whoever may be watching. And you know, I felt good. I was mad that they didn't have one tonight. But I showed up early. I was ready to greet people. I brought snack cakes, and I was very excited because I was like, man, they're going to be really excited. You know, I brought some snack cakes. You know, I'm going to say hi to these people. And even though we didn't have one, I can do all that tomorrow. And that's like the greatest thing. My battery's already a piece of shit on this. It's already like 9% down, and I've had it fully charged, and it's only been 30 minutes. Oh. But, you can't just be good when you want, or you can't just be good 20% of the time. You either are all the time, or you're not. And if you're not, you're just not a good person. And that's alright. If you don't want to be, it's whatever. If you think of it as looking out for yourself, that's fine too. Like, it's however you want to rationalize it. That's how this program works so well, is you all get to decide on your own. That's the biggest thing I think in this program, is y'all feel like, or at least I didn't ever feel like I had a choice. I've always had a fucking choice. I chose to sit in darkness and drink myself to oblivion. I chose to do that. But I also am choosing now to not do that. I'm choosing to be happy. I'm not going to have someone else make me feel bad anymore. Or I'm not going to let my anger and resentments take over, because he can handle that now. I don't have to worry about it. And once I let go absolute, man, let me tell you guys, it's different. And I'll tell you, you can ask, I mean, you wouldn't be able to ask people, but if you could, they could tell you my thoughts on God for the last 10 years have not been good. I would have been the last person to ever tell you any of this shit. But even if you don't, having that faith, that's a powerful thing. It's like hope. You can't see it. You don't know if it's there. It just makes you feel better. And it's worth doing, you know? I'm really excited to see where this channel goes, and I'm just going to keep posting. I mean, I could really care if it takes off or not, to be honest. I just want, like I said, if it could help just one person, that's enough, man. That's enough. And like I said, I'll always link the AA.org website in the below. There's no excuse. You can't say, oh, I couldn't find a meeting, I went and drank. No excuse. There's always a meeting. And like mine, there was tonight, but it was already 7:30, and the other ones were about 20-30 minutes away. So I wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. By the time I got there, it'd been like the last 5 minutes, and I just don't have the gas to be doing that. But I plan to hit the noon and the 7:31 tomorrow. Actually, not plan, I am. I don't care how much sleep I get tonight. I'll be at that noon o'clock. I almost said noon o'clock. I'll be at that noon o'clock meeting. I really like doing these, and I keep saying that I do them because I want to help other people, but most importantly, they help me too. They really do, because I enjoy talking, and I enjoy talking about this because I believe in it. And that's what I got today. Till next time.